Okay, so how was your day?
It was good.
You had a good day?
Yep.
How are you feeling about this?
I'm feeling okay.
Okay. What we're going to do to begin is just do a little vocalizing and kind of warm up your voice a little bit. And then we'll see where your range is. That'll help me to get a good idea of what you're able to sing.
Okay.
And then we'll work a little bit on this piece that I pulled out at the river. And then from there, I can kind of assess what other pieces might be good for you that we can work on.
Right.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. So we're going to warm up, and we're just going to do a little bit of kind of like a hum. And the idea is to warm up the vocal cords. And before we begin, it's really good to get out any tension that you have in the body. So kind of stretching the head a little to the left and the right, maybe rolling your shoulders, kind of working out any tension. You can lift up your arms overhead, stretch a little to one side and the other. And you want your posture to be nice and aligned. So good posture means that your feet are not close together, but about hip height. You don't want to go beyond your normal hip width, okay? And your spine is nice and straight and tall. And sometimes I like to think about if I had a string that was coming out the top of my head, right? And somebody was pulling that string, it would just pull my spine nice and straight, and the top of my head, and everything sort of aligns. Your shoulders should be relaxed and back.
Okay.
And your chest wants to be elevated in a very comfortable way, but so that you're not collapsed. You can feel the difference between if you bend down and kind of go into this concave and everything collapses.
Yeah.
But if you lift your shoulders up and pull them back and let them drop back, your chest then naturally sort of comes up in a nice lifted position.
Okay.
You don't want your head pulled back. You just want it comfortably over your shoulders in a normal alignment, nice and straight alignment. Okay.
All right.
Now, let's talk about a little bit. Let's just warm up for a minute, and then we'll talk some more. But I just want to give you that little bit of information on posture. Have you ever had anybody share anything with you about posture before in singing?
I took a lesson with Mark last year.
Okay.
So he kind of helped me. He did emphasize posture and breathing
through the diaphragm.
Right. And stuff like that.
Okay. Well, let's just start with a little bit of a warm up, and all I want you to do is sort of hum for a minute. I want you to kind of just feel the vibration in your nose and face area, and kind of just very gently, we're going to just warm up the vocal cords, okay? And if it gets too high, if it gets uncomfortable for you, then we'll go back down and just, okay? goes like this. So on a starting with the to get that nice vibration going. Come all the way through, so don't stop it in between each note.
Okay.
So you're hitting ya on the top note. Break between the, so you're connecting some of those like that. So you do have a break. You're putting a little bit of a like a yawn, yaw, like so that the back of the throat opens. You don't force anything here, but just let them connect up and then right back down.
Okay.
I love you. So you go on the love. Think about that yawn I was talking about with the yaw.
Hello, I love you, I do. Hello, I love you, I do. Hello, I love you, I do.
Try to connect them.
Hello, I love you, I do. Hello, I love you, I do. Hello, I love you, I do. Hello, I love you, I do.
Okay, so let's go back down one more here. Same thing, when you get to that top, don't be afraid of it, just open and drop open.
Hello, I love you, I do. 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 Hello, I love you, I do.
Nice. Let's work a little bit on the ooh. So the ooh is going to be very forward in your, like the lips need to be forward when you do the ooh, but open in the back of the throat. So we're going to do, we're going to go from an ooh to an e. some of the things that you would like to see accomplished in these sessions? What are some of the areas that you feel like maybe you want or feel like you need to focus on? Do you have any specific goals or desires on this?
Well, maybe vocal range and maybe like more power, because like when I sing higher, it tends to get weaker. My voice gets much weaker, so maybe that would be my goal.
So learning how to support those notes in the
Yeah,
higher
more-
range,
maybe
the right
more-
amount of air and the proper way to support it with the air
Yeah.
would help you to get some of those notes to be a little more confident,
Okay.
right? Are you familiar with this song "At the River"
I think
at
so.
all? That's the beginning of it.
Okay.
Would you like to try it with me?
Sure.
Alrighty. That's your starting That's it. All right, let's try that again. Can you see it okay?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Shall we gather by the river, where bright angels have gone, with its crystal dark forever,
Okay, good. So breathing. Shall we gather by the river? You see a comma here, so you will have that a breath spot there, right? Anytime you see a comma, generally, is a good place to take a breath. So you have a phrase, and then you have another phrase, and then another.
What about here? It goes trod. Should I breathe
after
trod?
Here?
Okay.
Yep, trod.
Okay.
Right before with it's crystal tide forever. Now this is all one phrase, so we could try to do it in one phrase, but that is usually something that takes a little bit of practice before you can get that all into one phrase.
Okay.
In the meantime, this would be where you would want to take a breath in between ever and flowing.
Okay.
Okay, so this is kind of an older folk piece, adapted. It's written by Aaron Copland. It's not a really, formal piece. It's nothing really formal, but it does have some presence to it. It has a really starts out soft.
Okay.
But you're going to see that throughout the piece as we go through, most of it is in a very soft, see it says with dignity. So it has a little bit of presence with it in its tone.
Okay.
But it's still very soft in the beginning. It's going to grow a little bit louder until the very end where it will be fortissimo, which is very loud.
Okay.
So we'll just work on this first page, this
right.
first section for today. Just to kind of
right.
get into it and get the feel of it, and then I can give you a copy of this to take home and be familiar with and look at and kind of get more familiar with the notes.
Okay.
I think this might be a nice one to start with because I think it works within your range.
Okay.
So I will play it with you again. We'll just play the melody for you. It's your starting pitch. 8, 4.
Shall we
you want to try going on a little bit? Yes, we'll gather by the river, the beautiful river.
Is it the same melody?
It's a little bit different here. Gather with the saints by the river that flows by the throne of God. So we'll take a look at that section. I'll play it for you.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, that's not too bad, is it? Can try that one more time.
Sure.
3, 4.
Yes,
Okay, so same thing here. You have certain phrases. Yes, we'll gather by the river. Phrase. So there's a little breath, comma there. The beautiful river. We want that all there in one breath, and then you have a little breath there. Gather with the saints by the river. And then you can take a little breath there. Okay, that flows by the throne of God. Let's go back to the beginning and try it one more time.
Okay.
Ready? 2, 3, 4.
Shall we gather by the river, the bright angels of the Lord, with its crystal tide forever, blowing by the throne of God. Yes, we gather by the river.
Good. So you really want to be figuring out how to support these notes. So let's talk a little bit about some breath support under there, right? So
Okay.
we know that when we take air in, right, we're going to sort of like when you yawn. What happens when you yawn to your lower region of your diaphragm, your stomach area? What happens? If you just relax, like not thinking about it, and all of a sudden you just like yawn, like, or you take a gasp, like a big breath in, what happens? Where does the air go?
Thank you.
Yeah, and you feel that sort of like a drop in the abdomen, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you know that the air is coming in and being placed properly. You never want your shoulders to come up and breathing shallow in your chest. That's not the kind of breath we want to take. But when our posture is good and we're standing up properly, right, it's much easier to think, okay, that air is going to come in, it's going to descend down, it's going to fill up the abdomen, and then I'm set and ready to go with a nice solid amount of air. So the idea is you breathe in, you kind of like set that air for a second, and then you can start to use that air properly as you're singing and exhaling, right?
Okay.
So think about that as we just do this first half of this for these phrases. Let's try this one more time. Let's think about when you set yourself up, let's get your posture where it needs to be, okay? Standing straight, shoulders relaxed and down and back, right? Chest is lifted comfortably high. You've got lots of space here in the rib cage, right? Nothing's collapsed on itself. We're nice and set. Now, when we take a practice breath in, you can feel the air, you can feel the stomach descend, right? Okay, like let's just pretend we're yawning again. While you breathe that air in, blow that air out. Blow it out as far as you can. Now open your mouth and let it come back in. Relax the stomach. Yeah, so blow it out. I see collapsing up here. What I'm trying to do is create a little vacuum so that when you get all the air out as far as it'll go, right, and then you open it back up, you should be able to feel expansion around the lower part of your abdomen. Do you feel that? Like, do you feel expansion around here underneath the rib cage and sort of like as you...
Kind of.
Yeah, so let's try that a few times. Just practice that together. So blow all the air out as far as you can. Keep your posture straight. Everything's in alignment. You're relaxed.
Okay.
Kind of create, so like you're creating a vacuum in there, and then just open it up like you're going to yawn. And let that air come right back in and fills up that lower region of around the middle, right?
Can't breathe it anymore.
No. You don't, it's never supposed to be uncomfortable. I'm not wanting you to take in so much air that you feel like you're going to explode. You want to take it in comfortably till you get to a comfortable position in place. The reason of exhaling first is so you can feel the contrast. So you're exhaling all that air out. Everything's kind of...
Should be shrinking. Doesn't really mean, but my stomach doesn't really shrink.
And then you have no air left. Open it up. Okay. Get the idea? You can't breathe in through a little whistle in the mouth. You have to really open the mouth, open the back of your throat like a yawn. You know when you get up in the morning and you take a big, stretch and you yawn and that air just kind of falls in, right? There you go.
Should I focus it in my belly?
Focus on relaxing your belly so that your abdomen can kind of drop. When you use up the air and you're pushing that air out, your diaphragm pushes, right, the air out, and then when you want to breathe it in and you take air in, you should be able to feel a drop in that muscle. But when you start to use it all up and you're trying to talk and you're trying to use up all that air in there, eventually that cavity kind of shrinks, doesn't it? And then when you open it back up, you open the throat and open your mouth and inhale, that air kind of just naturally flows in, down. It takes a little practice. One of the things you can do is you can lay on the floor, on your back, and you can put your hands on your belly. You can, some people like to take a book or something and put it on their belly, and you can see on the diaphragm, and you can see the extension and depression of, there you go, that's it. You see how it's coming up, rising, and then you exhale and it lowers, and you inhale and it extends. And so that's what we're going for.
Much easier.
And it is much easier because you can feel it against gravity that way. So we'll work some more. We'll work on this. I'll give you a copy of this, and I think we're about at time. And we'll work some more on learning to vocalize and support some of that range. This is new for me, working with a male voice. So getting accustomed to what you're able to do and where your range is will take a little bit of time for me. And if you have any particular songs that you enjoy doing or genres of music that you enjoy doing, you're welcome to show them to me, bring them to me, and we can work through something like that together and have some fun, learn a few things maybe, and grow a little bit. And the whole purpose of this is to kind of have some, fun with it as well. We don't want it to be, uncomfortable. We want it to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, all right, good job.
Hey, thank you.
Welcome.